Hello boat lovers, back again. Well, a couple of days ago I made a classic rookie mistake. Nothing too serious, but where I put all those bits of filler in my screw holes on the decks, I used my spatula as you might have seen, and of course I put all my filler in and I didn't leave it sitting proud. I just forgot that the filler is going to shrink a little bit. So all my screw heads had little divots in the top. Well, not all of them, but most of them, and it was just enough that I could feel it with my finger. I think the fiberglass and resin would have filled those when I laid the glass on the decks, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I have gone around now and added another dob of filler on top of all the screw heads so it's sitting up high. And once that's hardened off enough, I'm going to go over and sand all those off. It's not a massive job because I've only got to touch the sander over where the screw holes are, and that should do it. But now that boat looks like it's got white pimples all over it, I'll show you that, and later today I'll be sanding those off, getting it all smooth again, and then we can move on. Just one of those things where I just want to make sure this surface is really smooth without any flaws before I put that glass on. So as I say, classic mistake, put the filler in, and instead of leaving it sitting proud a little bit to allow for shrinkage, I wiped it off smoothly as I went. But there we go. All right, I'll show you what the filler looks like now, and then we'll get it all sanded off. All right, here we are in Boat White Pimple City. I don't know if the camera will pick these up, showing how high they are, but there's a close-up of one, for example. So we've got those all over the flat surfaces, and on the sides of the boat too. Not on the sides of the hull because that was okay. They were all okay, but just on the sides of the superstructure. So there we go. Spotty boat, ready to get sanded again. And as you guys know, I love sanding. Well, later today, as I say, we'll get that done. White dots everywhere. Lots and lots of white dots. All across the back. And even on the top. All right, folks, I will see you when I'm on the other side of the orbital. While I wait for those little bits of filler to really harden off before sanding, I've got a couple of edges that I still need to round off where the steps are on each side of the boat, just where the deck steps down from one level to the next. I'll show you the little edge there that I'm about to do. There we go, you can see that's got a square edge across there. So I'm going to round that off, and then of course going through the boat we've got the same on this side here. I'll get those rounded off, and then I'll have a good look around and see if there's anything else that I've missed. Hello boat lovers, welcome aboard. I'm Steve, and I'm single-handedly building Dragonfly. She's a 53 foot or 16.2 metre flat bottom wooden riverboat. She includes twin outboards, aft cabin, galley, a saloon, wheelhouse, separate head and shower, and a centerline queen double up front. She's specifically designed for the sheltered and inland waters of the River Murray here in South Australia. Join us each week to watch the mayhem and madness of one man and his rescue dog building a massive 53 foot flat bottom wooden riverboat. Alrighty folks, so I just remembered I have to build up these edges somehow. Let's see if I can show you what I'm up to. So this edge here, where it steps down, I need to build this up to this height and to make a bead of timber that runs along here that thins down to the deck level. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start by cutting out a strip of timber of this width, see if I can bend it around to here and then bulk it up underneath a little bit. And that'll be all glassed over and everything, but it'll just make this a nice firm edge. So that's what I'm working on. As I say, not exactly sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to cut a strip out. If it doesn't bend around, I might put some slots in it and then bulk it up underneath, smooth it all off, and that will get glassed. Alrighty. Stay down, down. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I wonder if I steam this, I might be able to pull it down into place. You never know. Oh, maybe. We'll give it a go. Alright, just going to steam this piece of ply. Not that normally steam plywood, usually do that with a hardwood, but just try and get this to be flexible enough to bend into place there. Give it a go. Get some lights on. Get the little steamer going and see if that works. A little bit of trial and error. You never know your luck. We will see. Not what I expected to be doing today at all, but as I say, while those little bits of white filler set off really hard, I might as well be doing this. I only put those in late yesterday afternoon. It's quite cold, so I don't want to try sanding them until they're rock hard, so it may not even be till tomorrow. Not that I'm putting off sanding. By the way, thanks so much everybody for your kind comments about my perseverance in sanding and the tortoise and the rabbit and all that sort of stuff. It really does help me keep going. And as I say, I'm sorry if I bored you too much in the last video with sanding and filling. There's so much of it with the boat building at this stage. There's not much else to show, but some little things like this might be more interesting. See how it goes. And as I say, I'm only a few days away from definitely starting my glassing, so I think you'll see some fiberglassing in this video. Let's hope so. Even if I just get started, I think the first piece I'm going to do is the aft cabin roof. Nice flat surface, really simple, and I haven't been fiberglassing for a while, so it'll sort of get me back into the swing of things. And of course I'll have to put some plastic or drop sheet type stuff around under that roof to stop any drips of epoxy going onto the decks. Right, improvised steamer. One piece of combustion heater flue, a couple of rags, all on an angle so it drains down the sink. And we'll see whether that works or not. It'll probably be a big fail, but I'm having fun anyway, so we'll see what happens. I think I can make that work. Once I screw that down into place, glue and screw down into place, I think that's going to do the trick. Alright, that's the top done. All the decks, except the little side decks or the catwalks on either side at the back here, and the aft deck. And then I'm done. Done for today, that's for sure. It's Friday and my goose is cooked. I think I have just about had enough. But great progress today getting all of that done. Actually a lot quicker than I thought it would be. And I'm really glad that I decided to refill all of those holes and top them up, because it was a pretty easy job sanding them back, and now it's just mirror smooth, so it's going to be really good putting the glass on with no voids underneath. Alrighty. We'll get these side decks done, and I think I'll knock off for today. Good morning, boat lovers. Freezing cold this morning, but I'm going to get to it and warm myself up. I think where we left off was working on these side pieces, and I've found a solution. So I've tapered this hardwood edging with a few notches in it to get around the curve. I'll show you that. And then I'm going to tidy them up a little bit and glue them into place. Here we go. Obviously that inside edge is going to get trimmed back, this edge here, but that's going to look just right, I think. So I'm going to trim this edge back, and then I'll fill in this area here to make it nice and flush, and we should have a nice edge. And that gets wrapped in fiberglass anyway, but I just wanted to put a hardwood edge around that as a good solid surface. So I'm going to tidy those edges up a little bit. In here, they're okay around this radius, but when we get right down to the bottom, there are notches underneath. and they're not quite deep enough because this needs to flex just a little bit more. So that's what I'm up to this morning, and then I'm going to clean all the boat up, blow off and vacuum, etc. Give the shed a bit of a tidy because tomorrow I'm going to start fiberglassing. In fact, while you're here, let's do a run through the boat. We haven't done that for a while. Let's do a quick walkthrough from the back to the front. All right, let's see how smoothly I can do this. Starting from the transom. Here we go, a little sweep there. Stepping down into the aft cabin. Oh, that's a big step. Alrighty, here we go. Walking through the galley, through into the saloon, up the steps into the wheelhouse, following my lovely floor along, down the steps into the forward areas, the toilet, or the head as we call it on the boat, and the shower, which I've got the fiberglass shortly, and then we step down again into the centerline double. Alrighty, let's do a quick run back the other way, and then I've got to get into doing those edges. Here we go. Starting from the bedroom, here we go. Alright. Shower, toilet, up the steps, through the wheelhouse, down the steps, into the saloon, through the saloon, into the galley, through the galley, into our outdoor aft cabin, up onto the aft deck. All right, time to get to work. Okay, we'll just get this saw height adjusted so I can redo some of those notches. Alright boat lovers, the end of another week of boat building. So many people from all around the world taking an interest, which I really love. It keeps me motivated. I love all the comments. Please hit the like button, subscribe, because it really helps the channel, and I'm sure as you can see the channel's growing really fast. Please don't hesitate to drop me a line, make a comment. I respond to everybody, and above all, boat safely, stay well, and we look forward to seeing you guys in a week or so's time. Bye.